Assalamu alaikum student, welcome to the fourth lecture of your science class. I hope that you all are doing well at your homes, and I hope that you're keeping safe and taking care of your parents, and you are devoting equal time to your studies and your extracurricular activities. And today, if you had listened and watched my previous lectures, you must know that we had discussed about the way scientists work, what steps do they follow, and we had discussed about chameleons, that how they change color, and you know and why research is very important, and you know and we had discussed that the scientists follow five steps for their in order to conduct any kind of experiment. The first one would be when they ask a question, they find a purpose. Second, they research about it. Third, they form a hypothesis, and the fourth one is experimentation and observation, and then they draw a conclusion, so on the basis of their hypothesis. So this is all we had discussed in the previous lecture. So today we are going to start off with a new chapter, which is chapter number 2 of your book. If you have books, you may open your books, and it is called Staying Alive. So staying alive means that to breathe when a human, because for when do we say that a human being or an animal or a plant is alive? When they breathe. So or a plant usually die when they stop growing, and they turn, their color changes and they stop growing. And animals and humans, when they stop breathing, that is when we say that they are dead. So let's talk about more about the chapter. So what is a life process? Okay, a life process is every function that a living thing has to perform to stay alive and reproduce. So in order, just like our heart beats, our brain it functions, then our heart pumps blood into the different parts of the body, into the brain as well. So these are the things that these are the things that some of the example of a life process, that when our heart is functioning, when our brain is working, that is when we say that we are fine, and we are alive. And reproduction means to bake copies of oneself. So like human beings, they make copies in the form of babies. So human beings, animals have babies. Some of the animals, they lay eggs, then their children, they hatch out of the egg. So a life process, what is a life process? A life process is every function that a living thing has to perform. So everything that we do to perform to stay alive is called life process, and to reproduce. Okay, so now here in this picture you can see the 7 life processes. So let's see what the 7 life processes are. So number 1, movement. Number 2, respiration. Number 3, sensitivity. Number 4, growth. Number 5, reproduction. Number 6, excretion. Number 7, nutrition. So the name of 7 life processes that may be common between animals and human beings are: first of all, movement; second is respiration; third is sensitivity; fourth, growth; fifth, reproduction; sixth, excretion; and 7, nutrition. So these are life processes. Process is this function that a human body performs or an animal body performs to stay alive. We are going to see them in details. So let's see this fun fact first of all. An easy way to remember the 7 life processes is to note that the first letters make the name Mrs. Green. So if when you have to learn the 7 life processes, and you're able to learn, then you just learn these first, this name, Mrs. Green. So it will help you remember the name. These are the first alphabets of all these 7 life processes, like M, movement; R, respiration; S, sensitivity; G, growth; R, reproduction; E, excretion, and nutrition. So if you have any trouble remembering the name of the 7 life processes, then you should what you should do, you should remember this name. But I think that it won't be very difficult for you to learn. It will be easier for you to learn if you understand. You don't need to cram things, you need to understand and learn the concept, and then you are going to easily remember all these life processes. So first thing is movement. So what comes to your mind when I say the word movement? Yeah, movement means when you move from one place to another. So that is also one good definition of movement. Movement is a life process used by certain living things to find food and shelter, to reproduce, and to avoid danger. So it is a life process. Without movement, we cannot do anything. If you want to, like for example, if you just have to stay at your bed, in your bed the whole life, you can't stay that way, because eventually your health will decline and you will, die, because you need to move. You need to move to find things, to eat food, to find shelter, to do work, to find a job, to play games. So movement is a life process which is very important. So movement is a life process which is used by certain living things. All the except for plants, animals and humans, they have to move in order to find their food, in order to find a shelter, in order to migrate from one place to another, in order to go to work, in order to um, if there is a danger, they have to avoid the danger. For example, if there's a deer in the jungle and it is being attacked by a tiger or a lion, it will have to move, it will have to run to save its life. So in order to alive, you have to move. So this is one life process, that in order to be alive, you have to move from one place to another. So why do we need movement? We need movement to find food, to find shelter, to reproduce, and to avoid danger. Okay, so animals move in many different ways. So there are different animals which move in different way. Human beings, they all move in the same way. We have 2 legs and we move with the help of legs. So there is no human being who can fly or swim. We all human beings, we can walk. We walk. In order to move, we walk. We use our legs to walk. But animals, there are different animals in the world. They have to they move in a different way. For example, can you just think of an example in your in your brain? Okay, so for example, dolphins have fins. These fins, as you can see in this picture, which guide them through the water. Through water, the fin is used for propulsion, and the dorsal fin provides stability. So, dolphins have fins. Let me just show you this in more detail. Now, if you look at this picture of a dolphin, this is a picture of a dolphin which is drawn by a human in order to explain what the different parts of a dolphin. We're not going to look at all the other parts. You should know the names of the other parts, but it's not necessary that you should, learn all of them. So let's talk about these 2 fins. This is dorsal fin. This is pectoral fin, and this is the tail fin. This is the tail fin. This is pectoral fin. This is the dorsal fin, and this is the um, tail fin. So, what do the what do they what are they used for in a shark in a dolphin? So the tail fin, this tail fin is used for propulsion. Propulsion, what does propulsion means? Propulsion means the act of moving forward or pushing forward or driving forward. So because when when dolphins and other fishes have to fin, they have to push forward. They have to push forward the water. They have to propel in the water. So they these um, tail fin, they help the dolphin in propulsion, which means in help in pushing the water forward. Okay, in driving forward. So they move with the help of this tail fin. And the dorsal fin, this fin, they provide stability. So that they don't lose their balance. So they provide stability to the sharks, to the dolphins, or to the different fishes. So What are these two fins used for? The tail fin is used for propulsion, means moving forward in the water, and the dorsal fin it provides stability. Okay, so this is one of the ways to one of the life processes of a dolphin. In order to move, they have to swim, and they have different parts of the body. They have different fins in their body which help them to swim in the water, and to propel in the water, and to and they and with the help of these fins they swim in the water. So because fishes, they swim, they don't walk, or they don't crawl, or they don't slither, or they don't jump, or they don't fly, so they swim in the water, and they help them with the help of their fin. And dolphin has two fins, and not two fins exactly, three fins: pectoral fin, dorsal fin, and this tail fin. Okay, the fastest and land animal is the cheetah. You must have heard about it, the cheetah. It runs extremely fast. It can run up to 120 kilometer per hour. 120 kilometer per hour. It is very, very fast. So if you see the videos or watch the videos of a cheetah, you would get to know that the fastest animal, the fastest, now if somebody asks you which is the fastest animal in this universe, the fastest animal in the universe is a cheetah. And how fast can it run? It can run up to 120 kilometers per hour. Okay, their spine is very flexible. Spine is this backbone. Like human have backbone, so this spine is the back side of a body. Spine is very flexible. It recoils like a spring when it pushes off the ground. Recoil means, to come back. Just like if you just expand, stretch a string, it will recoil. It will come back to its original position. It will recoil. So similarly, the spine of cheetah is also flexible like a spring. If it stretches, it just goes back to the normal, like a spring when it pushes off the ground, and then bends when their paws touch the ground. So it's very flexible, means that when they touch the paw, is that these are their paws, these are paws. So when their paws they touch the ground, their spine it bends. So it is made by Allah Almighty in a way. The cheetah is made in such a way that it will just run very fast. It is a very flexible spine, and it is the fastest running animal in the world. So kangaroos, as if you must have seen the videos of kangaroos, you must know that kangaroos, they don't um, they hop, means they just jump and jump and jump. Kangaroos cannot freely move their legs, large hind legs and feet, which is why they have to hop. They have to jump. This is they have long legs, so they can't walk, or they can't crawl. They jump. You should look at the videos of kangaroos when you visit a zoo, or when you go to a zoo, or if you may have get a chance to visit see kangaroo somewhere. You will notice that they don't walk, or they don't crawl, or they don't fly or anything. They just hop, means that they jump, which is why they have to hop. The tail helps to balance out the body. So this tail, it helps them because their legs are so long, so they have to hop. The front legs are not very large, but the back legs are very large, and the tail is also very large, and it helps them. Why is tail important? Because it gives balance to their body. To defend themselves, kangaroos will usually lean back and support themselves on their tails and kick with their back feet. So because these feet, they are much stronger and larger than the front feet, so if they want to protect themselves, they are going to use these feet, the back feet that are there. So they're going to lean back, they're going to go back, and they're going to support themselves on their tails. So the tail provides all the support in a body of a kangaroo. So the tail is very important. Okay, now the birds, as you all know, that they use their wings to fly. The feathers on the wings provide with them with a lightweight yet solid surface to push against the air. Just like, as you must have seen the aeroplane flies in the air with the help of the wings that it has. Kind of wings, not exactly what they're called wings, but the aeroplane wings. So it kind of pushes the air backward so they can move forward. Similarly, the birds, they have feathers, so they kind of flaunt their feather in the sky, and then they push forward, and then they flutter in the sky. When their wings flap to get downward, their feathers mesh together. So you must have seen that when their wings flap downward, they come together. When they fly, they kind of bring their wings together, and then they move them back. Then they spread them in the air. Then they bring back, and they come back together, and they create a mesh. Then the feathers part, allowing air to go through them. Thus, bird pushes them to fly through the air. So the birds, they use, how do they move? They use the help of their feathers and their wings to fly in the air. In the kangaroos, they usually use their large hind legs and feet. They do hop from one place to another. The support, the cheetah, it uses its legs and the spine, which is very flexible, to run very fast at 120 kilometer per hour. And the dolphins, they have, what do they have? They have fins. They have fins. So now if you have any other animal, you can just write down about it. How does it move? What helps it to move from one place to another? So in this lecture, we had discussed about first life process, which is movement. Okay, so the life process means, life process is any function that helps a living thing to stay alive and to reproduce. The first one is movement. Movement means that, to move from one place to another. And to and why do we need movement? Why is movement important? Because this life process, it helps living things to find food, shelter, reproduction, avoid danger, to find, for human beings, it needs work and everything. So, and animals move in many different ways. Human beings, they walk, but different animals move in different ways. So they have different features in themselves which help them to move, just as we discuss about dolphins, tigers, cheetahs, and kangaroos and birds. So it would be good if you revise this lecture at your home, and you just write down one more animal, and write down how does it move and what feature helps it to move. Just briefly write about it. Okay, so I'm going to see you in the next lecture, where we will discuss about respiration. Okay, so not respiration. um okay, we are going to discuss about how animals move. Now we are going to in the next lecture, we're going to discuss about how plants move. Okay, so today I think it's enough for today. I'm going to just discuss it in the next lecture, how plants move. Okay, so take care, and Allah Hafiz, and revise this lecture at your home. And if you are having any trouble, please ask me. Okay, goodbye. Allah Hafiz.